Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Haraami United, your favorite real channel. Yeah, let's keep it outset from the real fans. Yeah, that might stir some shit out there, but we've got the main people. Afsal, Riz, how you doing, boys?
Hi.
You okay?
Yeah, good man. How are you guys doing? You all well?
All good, man. All good.
Well as can be, man. Well as can be. But the
I think
other,
we're all still early, aren't we?
yeah, I'll say I'm still recovering. Um, but we have.
Banksy's struck out again.
Well, what we've done with Banksy, he's not well, but we've sent him on a mission, man.
Yeah.
So not only have we sent him to go out and about, and not just the English shores, but Scottish shores as well, to go out and explore the different cuisines around the UK. So, special mention to Banksy for that because we get a lot of love from our community about that, and they're always interested in that there. So we've especially for our community, we've sent out Banksy for that. But the other thing we've also done as well, we've sent him on an AI course as well because I think
Okay.
nowadays, especially last week, if you ain't knowing about AI, you just don't know what's happening, man.
It's taken over the world, man.
And I mean, I think with that just goes on to our conversation, first topic of our conversation. Sir Jim Ratcliffe at Old Trafford. Was he or was he not there, boys?
Fuck knows, honestly.
I'm exactly the same. I have
Fuck knows.
no
Yeah,
idea no more.
If
like
he's
Absolutely,
there,
apparently he was there.
I was gonna say, Absel, I think you've been probably closer to this than any of us, and I, especially me and Riz. I think we've kind of like not really paid much attention. But Absel, what's the rundown, man? What's happening?
Yeah, I mean,
What
for
have you
me,
been
it was obviously he's apparently visiting Old Trafford in Carrington. He's going to talk to the staff and I assume conduct some sort of review. When I find difficult because you're not officially in charge, nothing's been ratified or approved. So
yeah,
how
we
does
can. You
that
know what?
happen?
You can do these things, Afsal, even if there's an
Wait,
intent
but
to come
Riz,
in.
Riz, here's the thing. You can also go on manunited.com, you can go to the shop and you can book a stadium and museum tour. So did he just go for
Yeah,
that? Do you
perhaps.
know what I mean?
You know
do you
what?
reckon you had to pay
Yes, of course you have to pay, man. It's the
1.3 billion?
Glazers.
Yeah, you had to pay 1.3
Yeah.
billion for the museum tour.
Fucking hell, one hell of a walk around that, isn't it?
You know what? I look. You can do this stuff, right? So I'm looking at it from a different angle, right? Let's assume for a minute you can, right? Before a deal's being ratified, you can still with the permission of the current owners, if they sign off, go in and start conducting meetings, right? But their only control in this supposedly is sporting control. So why are the meeting staffer than the footballing side of things? That bit doesn't make sense to me at all. Makes
Riz, I'll
sense
be honest, man.
if he's going in and chatting to Ten Hag and the coaching setup and Big Ears. And Big Ears, I'm renaming him Cockroach. That guy can survive a nuclear blast. That guy's the
You,
first guy
you
that
think
needs to be
he's still
pulled
here in the
out
new regime, do you?
with his ears. He needs to be pulled out of there, man.
Let me just clear
So
up, Riz, just in case anybody didn't know who that was. That's John Murto. Just to clear
Yeah,
that
yeah,
up.
not Barry Lineker.
yeah. You know, so for me, I don't know, it just sounds a bit weird. Something just is all weird about these reports this week. Something just doesn't fit right. Do you know what I mean? Why
They've
would he go
really,
in and meet with non-sporting staff?
yeah, they've really pushed it, haven't they? In terms of, him being at Old Trafford, there's so many different theories out there that, I even saw someone saying he wore different pants. I'm talking about bottoms, trousers at different times. Like I said, I was really confused what was happening. I mean, to me, I thought they were kind of legit. I've done a media course, things like that, and I totally understand that what you see in the media isn't always true. So I do have to say that. But then I don't know whether it's just because I've lost interest at the moment in time that I don't
Yeah,
really
I'm the
care
same.
what's happening. Care
I'm
what's
the
happening.
same as you.
Yeah, what's happening out there. But there's people. on the spaces. And you know what? One of the lads I want to shout out to, pick up Jamie as well. You know who you are, Jamie, and you always keep me abreast of these things. So thank you for that. But a lot of people like Jamie as well, and I think you've seen as well, Afsal, that these are AI images. I think there was the one where he parked up outside. Oh,
Yeah, some video, and then was it
there's a
Raymond?
glitch.
Raymond pointed it out, I think, and
I'm
I don't
not too
know.
sure, man. Raymond, back in the day, he used to be a friend of mine, but he blocked me, man, because associated with Banksy. I think a lot of people have done that to me because of Banksy.
Yeah,
So thanks, Banks. Uh, um, but yeah, like I said, people say there's a glitch in that video, and there's a person there, then he disappears, and then but other people are saying, well, no, he's there on the last frame. If you look at it, and I think even you mentioned one app, so you chimed in as well. There's a, is it when they're meeting the players? I think it was it Rasmus Hoyland. He was like, "Oh, how fuzzy is this picture?
yeah. Like I
Is it
tweeted
like on a
saying,
on a Nokia?"
yeah, and people were like, oh well, this is the clearer image, and I was like, realistically, like, I'm no media whiz, but I know you can drastically improve the resolution of an image. So why did a blurry one come out? Like that was my whole thing. And where did the sun come from? Like Riz, you're in and around Manchester. It's been a
Um,
shit week weather-wise, bro.
this week has, to be honest.
Do you know what I mean? So where
Uh,
was the glistening sun?
I
I
mean, the
don't
only
know. Honestly, can I be honest? I don't give a shit.
yeah,
Honestly,
Riz.
I'm
I
at
mean,
that
just
point
be,
because
I think we'll come on to that, so I don't want you to talk about it too much. But what I was going to ask you is, with this, well, and it's obviously an open question to you as well, Afsal. Why is there so much PR machine? If this isn't true, okay, if it is stoking the fire, it isn't happening, but it's a PR machine. Why so much? That's the bit I
I
can't get over, in my head. Why so much?
don't know. Don't know. I don't. We don't know. It's not real, right? It looks real. It is real at the moment, right?
To me,
So as
it
far,
to me it does,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So there's nothing unreal about it, to be honest with you. Um, Absolutely nothing unreal about it, as far as I can see. To be honest with you, boys, I'm at a point. I know you want to touch on this in a bit, but I'm at a point where it's real. The club's fucked. I said this in the last podcast. The club is now stuck in a rut with this guy in charge in the type of deal that it is. We've gone backwards from just Glazers, right? And to be honest, I'm at a point where I don't care now. You know what I mean? I'm at a point where, okay, if this goes ahead and it's finalized, when it's just ratified and all of that, our club's dead.
You know what, Riz?
And you know what? The vast majority of fans know this. It's just the loudmouths that make it look like the vast majority are actually in favour of this, but they're the hypocrites. They're the hypocrites that wanted Glazers out, and now I've gone absolutely stum and quiet. But the Glazers are very much in financial control of that football club, 110%. They can veto every single thing Sir Jim and the cyclists propose. Every single thing they propose can be vetoed because every single thing pretty much needs money behind it. And so Jim doesn't control the money side of it, only the sporting control. So want to buy this player? Sorry, vetoed. Want to do this to training facilities? Sorry, money's tight, vetoed. It's going to
but
be,
that's quite,
it's very obvious what's going to
but
happen.
but but,
They're
but I was
going to
going
be
to
shut
ask.
in a rut.
I was going to ask though, Riz. So obviously, you, me, Afsal, we haven't run a club. These boys have, in boys. So fair enough. But I know that to get a marginal gains is to spend some big money on the training ground.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so if that 300 million is going to be from his pocket to spend in there, and he's going to get more equity into the club as well. So who's going to make that decision? Does he then make that decision to make, okay, this the training ground excellent? So to me, that's another like 50 to 100 million pounds you've got to spend just on this on the
Assumptions.
training ground.
assumptions, yeah, that's going to be the 300 odd million that he wants to spend into the club. He will spend that in what infrastructure he feels best, because that's his money, that's his investment, right? That's not the club's money that he has to go and get permission for, right? So assumptions, yes, he'd spend that in the training ground. But here's the thing, Harps. The setup, I mean, the thing that makes it a lot worse, other than it being a 25% in inverted commas sporting control, which is not going to work, right? You're deluded if you think that's going to work. That aside, and I'll come on to, we can have a discussion of why it wouldn't work. We did in the last pod, but we can reiterate it if you want. But that aside, you've got a cyclist beside you. I mean, it's like we're literally the piss take club of every other club in the
Look,
Premier League. Where
Riz, you
people are
cannot.
taking the piss out of us. When you've got rival fans celebrating this deal, that just says it all, boys.
I
You
think, I
got
think,
rival.
I think the point that emphasizes that is the new Peloton advert from Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to come on to that.
No, but honestly, jokes aside, boys, you got a cyclist. That's like the cherry on the cake of a piss take party.
I mean, we'll get a new bike to work scheme, positives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Green
Apparently
energy and,
Susan Boyle's
save the
making
planet.
an appearance, according to Banksy. It's just, honestly, with that topic, I just don't give a shit. Honestly, I've literally I was counting this the other day. I couldn't count all of them, so I made an assumption towards the end of it, and I think I've under-egged this, but about 160 different interactions of a bunch of people just saying, we're dead. Ended right. We're dead. This deal
Yeah,
buries us as a football club. It
yeah.
buries
See,
us.
I think forget Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, the social media side of things. I've not seen any images or anything like that. People outside Old Trafford, fans celebrating this investment, saying, "This is
I
it,
have.
man. This is
Can
the
I
one."
tell you?
Go on.
I've seen a bunch of rival fans celebrating it, bro.
Oh, God.
I am not joking. A bunch of rival fans, City fans, Liverpool fans are taking the piss, mate. They're celebrating this deal. They are celebrating this deal, boys. And when you got rival fans, yeah, that are celebrating a deal for our club, that's bad news. And then you got a bunch of people from our own fan base that think it's a good deal.
No, I know,
My God.
Riz, they don't think it's a good deal, and I'll tell you why they don't think it's a good deal.
Nobody they're saying it is. There's a bunch of people saying it is.
The reason why they're saying it is just because they've got something against Qatar, or they've got something against people like ourselves who wanted Qatar in and to full sale. Like I said, that was the only team that were coming in and doing the full sale. Is just try and prove something, say you're wrong or something of that nature. So these people are more there to score points in terms of haha, I told you so, rather than thinking about the club. Because the funny thing is, a lot of things they're not even talking now. They're not saying much because you even have to have a look at the recent reports. So again, if people are gonna say that the media are correct in terms of Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming, fair enough. Okay, so we've also got to then take on board the comments that are now coming out in terms of cutting back players, the wages, and all that business. Also selling the likes of Varane, Casemiro. Apparently, we were after Timo Werner. That never got over the line. Elise, I've seen who's been heavily linked with us, but he's going to end up going somewhere like Liverpool. But all the kind of echoes I'm hearing about the club, they haven't got the money. They can't spend anything. They've got to cut back on things. Now, I thought the whole point of this investment that Sir Jim Ratcliffe was coming in with was to actually rejuvenate us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only
exactly why.
natural to want to trim the fat, isn't it? But
Exactly. The thing is, look, Varane, Casemiro, yeah, they are two of our best players. They're way over the past date, right? They're in their 30s. Yeah, we should be targeting younger players, hungrier players that fit the philosophy of the style of football that we want to play. Don't get that at all. I don't disagree with that at all. But I don't see a plan of replacing him. So actually, the first thing they want to do is weaken the squad, right? They want to weaken the squad, and the worry I had with this type of deal is exactly what it is. You've got a seventh Glazer. You actually have a seventh Glazer right now. You
And
actually
and
do.
and going in terms of the one, like you said, the getting rid of the likes of Casemiro and Varane probably isn't the worst idea. You know, we're gonna get some, but this is where I suppose I struggle with. I don't get what Ineos do. Apparently, they sign younger players or something. I heard somebody say that, but then we saw what they've done at Nice with the likes of Aaron Ramsey,
Ross
what's his
Barkley.
Ross Barkley,
Michael.
Kasper Schmeichel, all these other players that are overinflated and their fees. And this is the bit I don't get. I mean, if it was like I said, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe was coming in, okay, and he was bringing in a team, just say for instance, when just let's just use them for now. Let's just say he was bringing Cheeky Beerstein and his other, you know,
Soriano.
Soriano, and they were coming in, say, oh, we've nabbed these from City. They're coming in. Then I'll be like, you know what? Okay, fair enough. You know what? These guys have got a precedence.
Oh, he's bringing a
They
fucking bike rider in, mate.
he's bringing
Bringing
in
a
a bike
cyclist in.
rider who's been in football. At Lausanne's they've done shit all. At Nice they've done fuck all. Okay, so I
Exactly.
don't care what people are saying to me. Oh yeah, they've learned from their mistakes. We don't know. We
How do you know
absolutely
they've
don't
learned from
know.
the mistake? No, whoever's saying they've learned from mistakes, how do you know?
But
Yeah.
this is it because apparently the second or third are they at the moment in time.
No,
I
they're not.
don't
They're
know.
back out. The
It's
top five.
not
They're
really
back down
hard
to
to be
normality, isn't
second in Liga, and is it? It's not hard to be second. Let's be
it?
honest.
I thought they dropped way down, boys. I
No,
thought
no.
they
I, I, I like I said, I think from I'm just going to quickly check whilst you're
But
speaking.
just
oh,
on that point, Hobbs.
the second in league.
Yeah.
Yes, second in
So
league
just
on,
on that
but the
point you
five
just
points behind.
mentioned.
But sorry, the
Go on.
5 points behind PSG, and they're 2 points ahead of Monaco, who are in third. Go on, sorry, Afsar.
But yeah, just on the point you just mentioned about Cheeky and Soriano and Pep and everyone. I came across this on Twitter. And this is the quote. It says, a leading agent. That's the source. And the quote is, Eric totally misjudged the qualities needed to play in the Premier League. I rate him as a coach, but if he had an experienced sporting director alongside him, like he had Marco Overmars at Ajax, then we wouldn't need to worry so much about the recruitment side of things. He goes, and then he carries on. He says, at Manchester City, you have Pep and Cheeky. At MUFC, you have Eric. And ...
Figures.
Do you know what I mean? But like, even compare that to Tottenham. Like, even they've got a system in place. Villa have got a system in place. For God's
No.
sake, Brighton.
We got cyclists, boys. We got
I said
cyclists,
this.
man.
I said this
We're
ages
unique.
ago. The thing with you know, is the problem you got with our club, and I feel sorry for Eric Ten Hag because he's making a lot of decisions that he shouldn't have made, but he's having to make them. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
The thing is, if they go down to getting in someone like Paul Mitchell, yeah, let's say to get a Mitchell in or an Edwards in, for example, right? That helps. But what's the cyclist doing there? Sorry, I'm not going to let this go. I want to know, what is the cyclist doing there?
I've
He's the
just
one
brought it
Shuffling
up.
his bald head.
I've just brought this up here, just going back to when they bought OGC Nice. There's an actual article in cyclist.co.uk. So the original statement by Ratcliffe when he purchased OGC Nice, he said OGC Nice ticked their boxes of solid business acquisition, and this is what he goes to say: it has been quite a long journey getting here. We have looked at a lot of clubs in the manner we look at businesses in Ineos. So again, business for value and potential. And Nice fulfills that criteria, said Ratcliffe. We made some mistakes at Lausanne, but we are fast learners. These have been rectified, and we are already seeing the benefits. Clubs need to be successful off the pitch as well as on it, and Nice will be no different. And
Okay, I have
they,
a question.
so go on. You might be the question that I'm going to answer, but go on.
Well, it's a two-part question. One, he's talking about learning from his mistakes and talking about success. What have Nice won? Two,
In the
who
Mickey
have
Mouse
Nice
League, by the way.
sold? Two, who have Nice sold since he took over operations at Nice that is now like a Haaland or who have they sold that went on to become a massive star?
Well, I know the only person that was after the moment was Todibo, but obviously he's still not gotten anywhere. But this is OGC Nice since the acquisition in 2019.
Guys, let me stop you. We're Man United. Can't be comparing us to a fucking part-time team.
No. But what I'm trying to say though is, so Lausanne, they said that they made mistakes and they're fast learners, yeah. And then they said they're going to obviously implement this new learnings at OCG Nice. So, back in 2015, Nice had finished, I think it was fourth. Here, I'm just going to quick fourth. And then they finished third. Then I think they finished eighth and then seventh. But then when Ineos took over them, they finished fifth in the first season, ninth in their second season, fifth in their third season, and ninth again in the fourth season. And okay, at the moment, the second. So they actually made them worse overall. So, and they're meant to be quick learners. And like
They've
you just said,
yo-yoed.
Riz, Manchester United is a totally different beast. Absolute
Our fans
different
won't
beast.
tolerate that.
Oh no,
Well,
they will. Of course
some,
they will. So, well, some of them will. Some of them will. The ones that are
Yeah, true.
rejoicing this deal. But my
the
goodness me, this is
majority
an
of them.
atrocious. Can I just say this is once again this is an atrocious deal, and I have still no idea what a cyclist is doing there. To
And I
tell you
want
what
to
this
balance.
stinks of. Let me just.
Go on.
It's an experiment, and the experiment has been done before, and it's failed before. Was it Clive Woodward, a rugby coach? Was it
Southampton.
Southampton?
Yes,
I
Southampton.
remember that. That one failed
Yeah.
miserably. They got relegated, boys. They had to get rid of the fact that you can actually get people from other sports to come in and make a difference in at an elite level, right? And Manchester United is an elite football club, right? It's not going to happen. It's absolute disaster waiting to happen, right? It's an absolute disaster. You got cyclists, boys. We've got a cyclist. We've got a peloton in. I'm sorry, you can't persuade me the other way around. We've got a peloton in.
Peloton.
All right, question.
Go on.
We've got a cyclist. How's Sancho getting to Germany?
On a bike. On your bike, son. Hey.
Yeah, there's a few. But look, Riz, I've got to ask the question as well, though. And it'd be good to answer it, I suppose, because other people have asked the question, and it's a valid question. We're all saying we don't want, obviously, Ratcliffe because he keeps the Glazers in, but what we're also saying is that they've got no visible success in EOS, especially in the sporting side of things, and let's narrow it down to the football as well. But what credentials would Sheikh Jassim and the 92 Foundation have?
Culture of not settling for hiring anyone other than the very best around. Simple as that. Nothing more needed to be said on it. Just as simple as that, Harps. The
I
culture
was going to say
of
they
going in
wouldn't
and
tolerate
hiring.
mediocrity.
Yeah, you wouldn't go and hire a Brailsford then. Absolutely no chance would you hire Brailsford. You'd go and get the very best of the best that's available and attainable to get, right? And you'd put them in the roles they want to do. You'd then empower them to go and do the job. That's what you get with that. That's the difference. Simply.
But I suppose what people will say also then. So if you look at Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and it's a very valid point, is that he's obviously a self-made billionaire.
That's got nothing to do with football.
No,
Biggest
no,
respect
get
to him
that.
for doing that, right? But that's
So,
not got nothing to do with football.
so in terms of
Running a
do the
football
best
club,
of the best and making billions, I suppose he's done that on his own back as well.
No, sorry, I can't buy that argument at all. This is football. This is Manchester United. We need to be bouncing heads at the levels of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. That's our ceiling. That's where we are. Yeah, not our ceiling, but that's our backyards. I'm sorry, you can be the most successful businessman in the world, and he is the most successful British businessman in the world for sure, right? But nothing that he's bringing to the table here is going to guarantee success for Man United, because that same billions have done jack shit elsewhere in sport,
I have to agree with
right?
that, but I have to agree with
So,
that part as well.
so the point is, he doesn't go out in sport, in the sport side of things. He's clearly not going out, and he's clearly not getting the best of the best. Whereas Qatar would go and get best of the best. That's just the way they operate. They go and get the best of the best, and they go and do it. That's why you've got that very high expat population there. 99.9% of the population is expat, because they're going to got the best of the best around the world for their oil rigs, for their gas extractions, for all of that stuff. They've gone and got the best of the best engineers all around the world. That's just the way they do it. So that is simple for me.
Afsar, thoughts?
Yeah, I fully agree with Riz. I think under the Qataris, under the Qataris, they wouldn't tolerate mediocrity. They wouldn't go and get a Graham Potter. You know, they'd look at that upper echelon of, if we are to sack Eric, for example, you'd assume to be a lot more forward thinking. The likes of Ruben Amorim, maybe even Zidane, if, well, God knows Zidane. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but that sort of
Dan's not right for Man U,
prestige.
but that's for another day.
He's never coming. He's never come to the Premier League. But
I don't want
yeah,
him near the club, if I'm honest. I don't want him near the club. I don't rate him as a manager. I think he was very lucky with
you and
those
Ted
leagues
need to
that
have a
he's won.
conversation.
Said you're too
I
scared,
want him
man.
nowhere near the
Yeah,
football
come on.
club. Being honest with you, you know what? I'll be honest with you. If Qatar wanted to go and get Zidane, I'd be against Qatar, man, straight away, because absolute no chance. Don't want Zidane anywhere near our club. And on the same token, on the other hand, I want Graham Potter nowhere near our football club. For fuck's sakes, guys. Come on, this is Man United. It's like, I have to pinch myself. Is this a nightmare that our football club, the one all-conquering football club, is where it is right now? And it had an opportunity, still has an opportunity right now to really get an owner that's going to make a difference, like a big difference, like a game-changing difference. And we're going to got a seventh glazer and a cyclist.
Yeah, I mean, Riz, let me just quickly just chime in on this because I don't want to drag it on for too long today. I mean, my thoughts are, and I'll be honest with you, I think people who are saying we shake Jassim, we wouldn't know. I'm of that belief, we wouldn't know. However, where my belief comes from, like you said, it does come from what you just said, the best of the best. You even go look at the World Cup and things like that, and the connections they have. I firmly believe that as well. But what they would have done, and I know this hand on heart, they would have reimagined, and they would have just, you wouldn't be able to recognize Manchester United as an infrastructure, as a club, a stadium, and the surrounding areas. What that would have done was that would have brought more income. So that would have done for us, we would have become even more powerful. Okay, we would have come instantly powerful where they could spend the money on transfers and things of that nature. Obviously, it has to be slowly but surely, FIFA fair play, and I totally get that. Yes, they can put some of their own money in there, but where they would have regenerated the money from other aspects of the surrounding area of Old Trafford and the stadium itself, it would have been a next level. So even when coming to the stadium, not only our home fans but away fans would have been like, wow, this is just something next level. So that whole thing you used to say, you're in the tunnel, you get scared before you even get into, you've already lost before you even get onto the pitch. That's what would have happened. It would have been best of the best. And like we've talked about before, and I've banged this beat loads of times, you don't just become the best by saying it. You become the best by seeing things around you. So if the stadium's the best, the training facilities are the best, you've got the best of the best people there, that makes you understand straight away, you know what, I can't drop my levels here. And I also believe Sheikh Jassim and the team would have made mistakes hiring 100%, because that happens in any walk of life, any business, especially it would have been something new. But like you said, Riz, I also would have been of the belief that they would have brought in the best of the best. They would have come. They may have tried something for a year, but then they would have just gone out and got the people. Like I've talked about before, when what's his name, Abramovich came to Chelsea, went and got Peter Kenyon, who was the best. After about 2-3 years, Abu Dhabi Group went and got the guys from Barcelona. The same things would have happened, because at the moment in time, what Ineos can't do and what the Glazers won't do, they won't pay over the noses for the best off the field.
I don't
Because we've
know.
seen
They've got cyclists in, of course. You gotta
exactly
go get somebody else. Got fucking cyclists, man. For fuck's sakes,
job
boys.
for the boys. Whereas, as you said, with Qatar, they would have just gone right. You're the best person for this job. You are now going to do this because they've got a proven track record. And like I
It would
said,
have been like Qatar coming in and bringing a mechanical engineer from an oil rig. That's what Brailsford
Yeah.
is. Fucking cyclist.
yeah.
We've got a fucking cycling fetish, man.
So
Anyway,
when
let's move on, man. These
yeah,
guys
so
are jokers.
when people talk about should Sheikh Jassim hadn't got the track record also, I agree with that. But everything else he would have brought with him. He said it even in his statement, and we've seen other
All
statements
right.
like I've just seen by that as well from
Can
Ratcliffe
I
that don't always follow through. But go on, Riz,
can
before
I
we
just
finish
add
up.
to it? All right.
Yeah, of course.
Whether one's got experience over the other and whose dick's bigger than the other demands, all of that, put that to one
I
side.
thought
For
he
a
was going to be
second,
actually clean today, for Brian.
yeah.
For Brian.
Oh,
Yeah, I just
we've been
realised
doing
Brian would
quite well.
Yeah.
Right, listen. Right, look, put that to one side. Yeah, you've had 100% ownership with the Glazers out. Brand new fucking era. Right now, we've got a seventh Glazer in a cyclist.
We would have
That's the
seen
difference.
scenes.
No, that's it.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that. It's as
yeah.
simple as that. You had 100% Glazers gone. Brand new dawn, brand new era, brand new investments, billions being promised to be spent on top of acquiring the club thereafter, openly, publicly stated when he put his initial bid out February last year. That is what was there versus a seventh Glazer that's got absolute zero control to make difference. Other than forget the PR, sporting control. Sporting control means fuck all without money. Right? You can't go and get players for free. You want to go and overhaul the squad for 300 million and buy out some contracts of players that should not be there. Who's going to pay for that? Sporting control doesn't. It's the Glazers that pay for that. It's the Glazers that make that decision to make that investment or not. Right? So forget the dick size comparison of this guy's got experience, but Mans could say that side's not got experience or either. Forget that argument for a minute because you go round and round in circles. Let's look at it in the simplest and most realist form. You had 100% complete takeover, brand new dawn, brand new era versus the seventh Glazer, and we've got the seventh Glazer as things stand right this minute.
And people are rejoicing in that, and I can't
people
get
are
over it.
rejoicing in that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I can't get out of my head,
Yeah.
man. That people, fans, are actually enjoying that. They're happy with that, and there's going to be people like, oh, give him a chance, give him a chance. These are the same people that gave, oh, you know what? Yeah, we're playing shit, but get behind your team, get behind your team. I get that, right? But you're living in cuckoo land. Have a bit of reality. Take a step back. Think. Use your own brain. Don't be influenced by dickheads around you. Use your own brain and just think about it for a second. We ain't going nowhere as a football club. You can have all the hope you want in the world. Go and fucking sing I'll Never Walk Alone if you want to in the back garden when no one else is listening, right? If that gives you the fucking ability to sleep at night. But the hard truths of this reality is we're going fuck all with this ownership. Fuck all. We're going backwards.
Riz, bringing me on nicely now to the last thing before we wrap it up. Tomorrow's game against Wigan FA Cup. What are our thoughts, boys?
I don't
I
really
think
I don't
care.
think I don't think I even need to ask Riz, but I'm going to ask Riz anyway. Go on, Riz.
I think I think we'll win.
What?
I think it'll
Whoa,
be a
Oi,
lack.
whoa,
make sure
whoa, whoa,
make sure
whoa,
you
whoa,
clip this
whoa.
one, Afsar. Make sure you clip this. You just said we're going to
Just
win.
go back. Say that again.
I think okay. I think let me say my whole thing. I think we'll win, but I think it'll be a very lackluster performance that will feel like it's a defeat. If you get what I mean, I think it'll be a very poor, lackluster performance, very flat. Zero commitment from our players, zero fight. We'll see. It's Wigan, for goodness sakes, right? Of course, we'll beat them. Well, there's the jinx.
I was going to say, now you said that.
It'll be a lackluster performance. Nobody will be happy. Yeah, it's a win, but everyone's going to be, crying about the performance. I predict that.
Afsar?
I don't even. Again, I'm just done with everything right now. But it's Wigan. It's the FA Cup. I want to see some youngsters. For God's sake, I want to see the Turkish goalkeeper.
Can I just say one thing?
Go on.
After I've finished. No, finish off. I want to say one
Right.
thing after you
Yeah,
finish.
I want to see the Turkish lad. I want to see some of the injury boys come back and get in the side. I think we'll win, but it doesn't mean anything.
Go
I
on,
want to
Riz.
say this game has a lot of eyes on Eric Ten Hag for me, because in a game like this, you cannot rest some of the prima donnas and I include Bruno, Rashford in this, and blood. Feel that blood, that young blood through. Give Pellistri his dues. Get Hannibal his game. Get these youngsters in that game, yeah, and playing that game. If he sticks with the regulars and he doesn't do that, I've then got serious question marks, because Manchester United and under Ferguson, this is what he would have done. That's what these type of games in the FA Cup would have done
Riz,
for me.
I can't agree with that because he needs every performance he can get, and I know they've not delivered for him.
That's why
As
I've said
such,
what
so
I've said, by the way, just ironically. That's why I've said what I said, because I think the players with those youngsters will give that exactly what you're saying he needs. Those youngsters will give him that. The
and
prima
I get
donnas
that.
won't.
And I get that, but I also looked at Hannibal when he came on to the last game. Was it Forest? I think I can't remember which game it was. It might not have been Forest. Might have been the game before that. He came on and within
Forest.
no, it wasn't the last game because I don't think he played that game. It was the game before that one. I think it was the Villa game at Old Trafford. That was it. He came on 4 minutes. He gave about 3-4 fouls away. And this is at a time when we needed to be at the other end, but he was bringing pressure on. Just little things like that he does. And I'm not just talking about him, obviously talking about other players as well. But I just, like you say, I just think Eric Ten Hag is in a no-win-win situation. He needs the results, so he's going to go with his tried and tested. But you're right. If he wins, it's going to be like, oh, so what? And if he loses, you'll be like, he should have brought the players in. But this is what I'm trying to say. Nothing lends himself at the moment in time with the atmosphere around the club. Even, do you know what I mean? This is what I've got to gripe about this whole deal with Ratcliffe. Nothing, even fans are now believing. Do you know what I mean? It just brings nothing to it. So going back to what you're saying, even tomorrow's result, I don't actually care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Shit, to be honest, yeah.
Even if we lose, yeah, I'm numb to it. Even if we win, I'm absolutely numb to it because we might ride, ride a wave of a crest going high, but it will soon come down because it's just the
Yeah.
way it's going to be. And I'll say that. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is, though, Harps, I'm just done with these players. I am done with. And I've been saying this, and I've been saying this since late August. Remember?
Yeah.
I remember late August. I said to you what the season's.
I think it was after or it was in and around the Tottenham game, or
after the
maybe even
Spurs
before
game.
that.
It was
Yeah,
right after the Spurs
the
game.
Spurs game.
Right?
But
I'm with you, man. To be honest, I'm at a point where, of course, as a Man United fan, yeah, of course, you always want your team to win. But if they win, with the cloud that's over our club right now, with the seventh Glazer and a cyclist that's coming, I couldn't give a shit.
exactly, Riz. And I just want to finish on. I've heard people point out there, people who are questioning this deal, and they're saying, "Oh, why are you questioning it? Back the club or
No,
support another
bollocks.
club."
You go support another club, you daft fucking cunt. You
Yeah,
daft
we want what's
fucking
best for our
pussy. You
football
go,
club.
you go support another fucking club, you dickhead. Whichever dickhead said that, you fucking Ben Jord. You don't get to drive who supports what club and who doesn't support what club, you Ben Jorda. You go and support another club, Haramzada, Kutta Kamina, Ben Jorda. Yeah, if you want to support another club, you go support another club. I'm supporting this club, and I'm supporting this club, and I'm still saying, yeah, this new deal is fucking sewers. Fucking cunt.
And you know what the irony of that is, Riz?
Gone.
These are the same people who are asking these and proposing these questions are the ones who've been talking about Glazers out. So
Yeah.
why can't we still support the club like they were doing and say Jim Ratcliffe and Glazers out? Why is it any different?
Exactly. Because they're hypocrites. These people are hypocrites. They ride a short-term wave. They can't stay consistent. They're flip-floppers, right? If you could have been Glazers out and still support the football club, then anyone can still be Glazers plus Jim bullshit setup out and still support the football club. If tomorrow Jim turns around and says, you know what, I've changed my mind, I want to buy 100%, you know what? I'll be well behind that. I'll be well behind that. Go and get the 100%. Absolutely. Get the fucking cretins out. That's what we want. That's why we're saying this. Let's be frank, right? There's two gripes I've got with, I just want to put this on record. There's two gripes I've got with Sir Jim. Not because it's Sir Jim and not Qatar. Not because of that. Not at all. And if you think it's that, then more fooled you, yeah? You clearly can't think with a fucking proper brain. Let me tell you exactly what my gripes are. The predominant gripe I have got is it keeps the Glazers there, and there's no guarantee of them leaving in a deal further on down the line. It's wishful thinking and it's hopeful thinking. If you think, yeah, but give them a chance, let's see what happens. No, gone are the fucking days of let's see what fucking happens. You want it written now. You want guarantees now. And none of that. If you read that agreement, there's absolutely zero obligations to buy. It's a kind of fucking shitstorm agreement, yeah? Shitstorm agreement. That's my biggest gripe, that you've kept the cunts in a manner that the cunts are still controlling power. Don't be fooled by sporting power, sporting control. It means nothing without money. Because if the sporting control have decided they need a 300 million overhaul of the squad, Glazers can turn around and say, no, thank you. You have sporting control. We have financial control and we can overrule that. So no. So they have no sporting control. Let's be frank. So that's my number one gripe. My number two gripe, smaller in the grand scheme of things compared to the first one, but still big enough to be a gripe, is you brought a fucking cyclist in. No, I'm serious about that. This is a football club, right? And he's not even from Manchester, so he doesn't even fit your Manchester up the land of the other Manchester fucking statement you wanted to say.
Put Manchester
right?
back into Manchester United.
So I just don't get it, right? So they're my two gripes with this deal. Not the fact that it's Sir Jim. If Sir Jim turned around and said, listen, fuck off Brailsford, fuck off Glazers, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go and get Mitchell in. I'm going to go get Edwards in. Or
Blanc is
whoever.
not too bad, I don't think, If you, but I still don't get how that sector would work because, at the end of the day, a CEO is obviously looks after the running day to day, the commercials and all that business. So if the Glazers are in control and he's Ratcliffe's man, there's going to be another conflict. From what we hear behind the scenes, that's what happened with Arnold and the Glazers. Arnold wanted to go in one way, the Glazers wanted to go in another way.
Can you not see the fuck up that's around the corner from this? I mean, people that can't see that are just blind as a bat.
Like I said, Riz, it's not about the well-being of the club. It's just to score points, to say we were right or whatever. That's whatever. But the problem is you're flip-floppers, so they can't even be right in that respect either. So, but anyway, like I said, I think there's other things that we want to discuss, but I think we will end it now. There's still no Q1 ready results. We're still waiting for that. I think Afsar, you've been asking for that for a long time. So have other A shareholders, and still to see a tender offer being put out there as well. There might not even be anything for the Premier League to check at the moment in time. But on that note, like I said, I think we've made ourselves clear. We want the Glazers out, and anybody who's helping them stay, we want them out as well. So, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, we want you out as well. Thank you.
100%.
The guy that turns up on your parties.